Hello and welcome back to World War II Solitaire board game channel. Today we're gonna play another game of Schwarm, the great little folio game. This is released by LPS. You can get it separately or you can get it with Against the Odds magazine number 34. Link is in the description. So I just want to tell you that if you haven't watched my first playthrough video, I advise you to go look at that first, because in that video I go into greater detail on the rules of the game. I play with the Messerschmitt planes, the 109s. In this video I'm not going to go into greater details of the rules. I'm just going to play the game, and I'm going to play the game with the Focke-Wulf planes. So the first thing we're going to do now is remove the 109s. That guy wanna stay, but I'm sorry buddy, you can't stay. Okay, so we have our Focke-Wulf planes, and now we're gonna go ahead and roll for starting damage on our B-17. And we roll an 8. Let's see, that's engine damage. We have our chart here on our starting damage, and you can see here we can have a number of different damage. Tail damage would be cool to start with, or 2 fuselage damage. That's going to give you a tactical point even, but we got engine damage. That's good enough. So we take our engine marker and we put it on the first space on the tracker, the damage tracker, and then we go ahead and roll for our sun, and we will have the sun in location number 8, which is here. This is 8 and 3. 8 o'clock high, and then we're gonna go ahead and take our turrets. We have our ball turret and our top turret. We will shuffle them on the spray side without looking at them, and randomly place one in the front zone, one in the back zone. We have our, let's see, low turret or ball turret starts at 6 o'clock, and our top turret starts at 12 o'clock. And then we roll to see if our top turret goes to the same zone as the sun or not. And we roll a 2, and that's an even result, and that means the top turret stays where it is. Okay, so that's it for setting up, and we are going to go ahead and send out some Focke-Wulfs now. So some things to notice with these Focke-Wulfs are that they have more powerful die roll modifiers. They have more powerful weapons. However, they are having trouble gaining altitude. So as you know, sending out a parafighter costs 1 tactical point, but for Focke-Wulfs in turn 3 and later, to place them at high altitude will cost 1 additional tactical point. So that's why I'm gonna keep a die here to remind myself which turn we are in. And again, when we are in turn 3, putting one of these fighters in high altitude is gonna cost additional tactical points. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead, and you know my game. I will use all of them, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and do so in, I'm gonna go for the front zone at 12 o'clock high. So the first one I place is gonna be locked, or the top turret is gonna lock onto him. And then we have 5 more. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start rolling now for our position checks. And I almost forgot, I have to pay 2 additional tactical points for the 2 additional pair of fighters I send. Remember, your first pair of fighter in the initial pass is free. That's the only free pair of fighters you get to send out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll for a position check on the first Focke-Wulf who has the top turret locked onto him. And he rolls a 9. Ooh. Let's see if that's gonna go number 10. That's gonna go into an even space. It's gonna go over here. So we have 4 points at 12 o'clock. So that's gonna be 5 points remaining. 3 points then. So that's 2 points remaining, and then finally no points remaining. So it's gonna end up at right zone 3 o'clock level. And that means the top turret slips off because it's not going to go into the same zone. So it's going to be placed on its spray side. And its spray side meaning that it's going to affect all of the fighters in this zone. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and roll now for the next fighter position check. And he rolls a 4, so he's going to move 1 space, and he's going to move counterclockwise into 11 o'clock high. Next guy is going to stay just where he is. Next guy also stays. And this guy got a 7, and he's going to go clockwise, so he's going to go 4 points. And he's going to end up at 2 o'clock level. And then we have our last fighter, and he's also going to stay. Okay, what I think I'm going to do now actually is... this is hard because I would like to retreat with 2 of them, since I like to have them in pairs to benefit from each other's, positive die roll modifier. But I have to be quick with these Focke-Wulfs. I have to bring down the B-17 fast, or I'm going to have trouble. So I'm just going to take these 2. Whoops, I saw the value. I'm going to take these 2 guys, send them back, and get that tactical point for doing so. So we're going to go ahead and start with this guy. Oh, and he has the good one, 5. So I wanted him paired up with someone. But yeah, it is what it is. So this guy is going to start. He has a -1 for the B-17 defensive fire. And then we have 1 more from the top turret, which is spraying. So +2 to B-17 defensive fire. None from the position, that's a 0. And 5 + 1 from the position. Positive die roll modifier for his attack fire. Okay, so the B-17's fire is unsuccessful. I rolled a 3. That's unfortunately not good enough. 5, 6, 9. So this guy flies home without much to show. Okay, we have next guy. He has a 2. That's very good. Then we have +1 from our top turret, -1 from our position. So that's just going to be a 0, but +2 for him. Ooh, that was close, man. Close call. Okay, so I rolled an 8, and that 8 is going to turn into a 9, and then an 8 back. And then he also rolled 8. That 8 is turning into a 10 with his positive of 2. And then 12 from the position. We get a fuselage hit. I always hit the thing which I can't pronounce. Fuselage. Whatever. Okay, so now we have 2 hits. That means we get a tactical point for, remember, scoring every 2 hits. So this guy flies back and he's proud. He should get a promotion. And then we have our pair of fighters, which actually share their combat value. And I'm going to go ahead and roll for this guy first. And he's going to have 4 because he's attacking his wingman. He uses his wingman's value. So it's actually a good value here. He has 4 + 2, so that's going to be +6 totally. Yeah, and the only way they can bring him down is rolling a 0. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so the B-17 rolls a 4 with the turret, and with the minuses, nothing's going to happen. So he rolls a 6 + 4, that's 10, + 2, that's 12 again. Another fuselage hit. Okay. And then we have our main guy here. Let's go ahead and roll again. Ooh, look at that, guys. No! I rolled really good, but so did the B-17. The B-17 rolled 10, and the 10 turns into a 9 because of the position, which is -1. But then we have the nasty little turret with a 1, and that's going to turn into a 10 again, and this guy is hit. I have to use a tactical point to save him. Unfortunately, so his hit doesn't count. Otherwise, it would have been, an engine hit or whatnot. Okay, so we retreat our guys. The turrets stay where they are. Spray side up. And look at this. We have an engine hit. We need 4 of those to bring it down. Fuselage hit, we have 2, but we need 6 of those. Not sure where I'm going to go from here. See, I'm going to mix these guys up. Doesn't really matter if they're mixed or not, to be honest, when you send them all out. I'm just going to keep track of, it's turn number 2 now. And I think I'm going to send them all out again. A little bit risky move. And the question is now where I want to send them, because I have this nasty turret. I don't like it at all. I could try attacking from the sun again. That's always quite a good deal. chances are I would get... Yeah, I'm gonna get that turret if I do anyway. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is... I'm gonna put my first 2 pair of fighters here. And then I'm gonna put the other 2 here. The first one, the turret is gonna lock onto. And I'm hoping these guys are gonna go down here and stay in the sun. But actually that's really stupid, because they would have, if they moved 2 zones, they're gonna have to drop an altitude too. Man, this is a tough call. Okay, I'm gonna place my guys over here instead. Hoping, let's see, the first one I'm gonna go ahead and place over here, right? Get the turret to lock onto him. And then I'm gonna hope that... Okay, the first pair I place over here. Then I'm gonna hope that these guys drift down to this position and fire from there, and they're not gonna have to deal with the turret. Okay, let's see how my plan works out. Let's see if I'm a bad or good commander. We're gonna go ahead and roll for position checks. And before we do so, we're gonna pay the free tactical points for sending them out. So we go from 4 to 1 tactical point. And let's roll for the guy with the turret. I don't know, yeah, it's that one. With the turret on him, and he rolls a 5. He's gonna move 1 zone, and he's gonna move clockwise. So he's moving to 1 o'clock high. Next fighter, he stays where he is. And then we're rolling for these guys. And he rolls a 9. Wow, that's quite a way he's got to go. So he goes, let's see, 9 turns into 6. 6 turns into 4. 4 turns into 3. Let's see, and 3 turns into 0. Wow, that's quite a way to go. Next guy, let's hope he's luckier. Oh, he rolls a 10. So he's also going to go all the way over here. Next guy, he rolls a 3. He moves, yeah, he moves where I want him to. And last guy, oh, he rolls a 7. So he's going to go ahead 3. 7 turns into a 4. 4 turns into a 2. 2 turns into a 1. Oh, okay, these are not good positions. We also have now a turret, ball turret tract locked on to one of our guys. You see the value here is 1 for us, 4 for them, so that's a horrible place to be at. Well, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call these 2 guys back. Obviously, they're not doing any good use there. And yeah, I'm gonna call these 2 back as well. Turret goes on its spray side. These go back, giving me back 2 tactical points. And then we go to, before we do combat, we go to turret adjustment for this guy because he doesn't have any fighters in his zone. We roll a die. He will go counterclockwise. He will go from rear zone to the right zone. Okay, so it's time to fight. Let's see. Well, we have a good fighter at least. Let's see if we can score some damage here. Oh, man. That's horrible. Okay, so I roll a 4 for me. That's going to turn, into a 9, an 11. That's great. But they roll a 9. And with my -1, that turns into a 10. Then we're saved by the roll modifier here. It's turned into a 9 again, but then the nasty turret turns it into a 10 again, and that means, we have to save this guy with 1 tactical point. We go from 3 to 2. Then we have this guy. He has value 3, a -1 of 1 for the, or a +1 for the B-17 defensive fire. Yeah, we are a little bit luckier here. Fortunately, we roll an 8. They only roll a 2, so they don't bring us down. 8 plus 1, that's 9, plus 3, that's 12. So we get fuselage damage again. So now we have 3 in fuselage damage. Okay, so let's bring our guys back. Okay, let's see. We have only 2 tactical points. We're kind of running out of points here. And now we are in turn 3. You know what that means, guys? if we want to launch our fighters in high altitude level, we're gonna have to pay additional points. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna be a little bit gamey, I think. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and send 2 fighters into 12 o'clock level. The first fighter has the turret locked onto him, unfortunately. And then we're sending, now we're at 0 tactical points. So we have to gain a hit or we're gonna lose the game, because if you end the turn with 0 tactical points, you lose. The second group of fighters, I'm gonna go ahead and put over here. And the first one has a turret, the ball turret, locked onto him. Okay, this is getting difficult, guys, but I think we can still make it. Let's see. So let's roll first for the Focke-Wulf, which has the top turret locked onto him. He rolls a 4, so he's gonna move 1 space, and he moves counterclockwise. Let's check our the wingman to this guy, and he rolls a 10. And that's also counterclockwise, so 10 turns into a 6. 6 turns into a 3. 3 turns into a 1, and 1 turns into a 0. So he moves all the way over here. Next guy, he's rolling 6. And I don't need to roll again. 6 turns into a 4. 4 turns into a 3. 3 turns into a 0. Then the guy with the ball turret. Not looking good, guys. He rolls a 3, and the 3 is he's gonna end up over here on low. And actually, this guy, I think he's actually gonna drop out because he moved. If you remember, move 4 times, you're gonna have to lose 2 altitude levels, and he started at level, so he's actually dropping out. And I'm gonna do the same with all of them, because I can just see that this is gonna be a bloodbath if I try to attack. So I'm dropping out, and I'm gaining 2 tactical points. I think I need to rethink my strategy here. The problem is I have these 2 turrets. Both of them can fire on level. This can fire from level on high, and this on level on low. So I can officially get 2 of these turrets spraying at my fighters, and that's gonna be a bloodbath. That's not something I want. However, the die roll modifiers down here are not good. Okay, I am gonna go ahead and just send out 2 fighters and hope they do something good. And I'm gonna go ahead and send them out over here, paying 1 tactical point. And then we're gonna go ahead and do our position check on the first one. He's gonna move, and he's gonna move clockwise. Next guy, he's also gonna move, and he's gonna move clockwise as well in just one movement. Okay, let's see. And then we are gonna do our turret tracking, and this guy is gonna move automatically into the rear zone from the right zone, since he can track these guys, and he will just spray fire, bringing 1 negative die roll modifier to me, 1 positive one to the B-17 defensive fire. This guy has no fighters in his zone and no fighters in an adjacent zone, so he has no automatic movement. So we're gonna roll, and that means he's gonna go clockwise. Again, even rolls are clockwise, uneven rolls are counterclockwise. Okay, so I'm gonna take a chance here and hope that these guys can bring me a tactical point from doing 1 damage. I've currently done 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 hits. I think that maybe I forgot to give myself a tactical point, but if I forgot, that's my own fault. So that means I have to do 2 hits now to get another tactical point. Anyway, let's see if these guys can do it. They're working in pairs, so they are gonna get, both of them are gonna shoot for 3 instead of 3 and 2. So I'm starting with this guy. Looks so far not so good. Okay, the defensive fire of the B-17 is 6. That's turning into a 9 from the altitude, and then unfortunately that turns into a 10 from the sprayer here. So that's first fighter is lost. I'm now down to 0 tactical points, and that's bad news because that means I have to score 2 hits, and I don't think I can score 2 hits in this zone. I can only score 1, but I'm gonna roll even just because I want to shoot at the B-17 one last time in anger. And we roll a little bit better. They don't hit us, they roll a 4, and that's gonna turn into a 7, 8, so we are fine. The 6 turns into a 9 and 11. That's another fuselage hit. So again, I would only need 2 more to bring that down, but unfortunately it's the end of the turn. My fighter go back, and we are now at 0 tactical points. That means the B-17 made it. And that means these, they managed to get all the way over back to perhaps escort protection, or back to England where they got some AA defenses basically, so my fighters can't keep pouncing on them. So congratulations B-17 players, Queen of the Skies. I'm sure you're happy about this video. Anyway guys, that's Schwarm for you with the Focke-Wulf planes. I think it's kinda, when I play, I like to roll a dice and randomly decide if it's a 4 to 6, I play with the Focke-Wulfs. If it's a 1 to 3, I'll play with the Messerschmitt's 109s. I think it's kind of interesting because you have to really use different strategies depending on which fighter type you get to play with. Anyway guys, as I said, you'll get this game from Against the Odds magazine. You can get it separately or with Against the Odds magazine number 34. Link is in the description. Please subscribe to my channel, it does help me out a lot, and also keeps me motivated to keep going. And yeah, as always guys, thank you for watching. See you next time.